Good morning and welcome to The Jungle, brought to you by Liger Partners. I'm Eric Holtzclaw, Chief Strategist, and today it looks like I'm actually really coming to you from the jungle. Typically, I'm up in our studio down in Atlanta, but this week I'm traveling. So I'm somewhere in Pennsylvania, sitting outside with a nice tree, and I'm talking with Jermane Cheathem. Jermane, and you're in Malaysia, right?
Yep, I'm in Malaysia, enjoying the beach and the warm weather.
Nice. So, you're talking to me a little bit about how did you end up out in Malaysia? So, like, what's your kind of background? Is that where you work, or is that just where you ended up?
No, I can work anywhere in the world, so that's kind of the beauty with technology today, and work from my laptop and cell phone. So I left the United States in January, and I was in China for a little bit, in Hong Kong, and then went down to Thailand, and got to Malaysia, and then everything kind of locked down. So I've been here. It's been great. I thought about going back to the States, but going to wait till after the new year, maybe the elections, and see how things shake out with that. And we don't know what's going to happen with COVID, so this is a good place for me now. And the beauty with technology, I can work anywhere in the world, so it works out fine.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at your background. So you've got a couple things going on. So tell me a little bit. There was a DIO Financial, and then you've also got some other kind of programs and things that you teach. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so DAO Financial, we help small businesses get loans to run their business. Right now with a lot of small businesses, they kind of struggle getting sometimes bank loans, because banks, to be honest, just want to loan to huge companies that they can do a $500 million loan or something large. And a lot of small businesses don't have access to 50 grand or 60 grand or even $20,000 for a loan. So that's where we step in, and we help businesses get those loans. We help the sellers of equipment provide financing options to their customers if they do want to buy their equipment, but they don't want to shell out 30 grand for like a new ultrasound machine. The ultrasound device guys would get with me and say, hey, Dr. Smith needs an ultrasound. He would love to finance it. He likes $300 a month instead of 30 grand.
Right.
That's where I step in.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And really and truly, most small businesses, there's the separation of like epiphany. So it sounds like you're typically on that kind of side. And then there are things that, working capital loans and things. Are you typically more in the side of kind of something that has a hard asset associated with it?
Not necessarily hard asset, but we only do equipment or software. We don't do any really working capital or, factoring or anything weird like that. As long as it's something that's essential to their business, we'll do it. So software, equipment, you name it. We mostly focus on the medical industry, medical, dental, vet. But I have all types of stuff that fall on my lap that we will take care of.
Okay. And so there's that side of your business. So, kind of doing the business financing, and I saw that. And then you've got a program that you've created. So talk to me a little bit about that program and what it teaches people.
Basically, it teaches people exactly what I do. I don't believe in the idea of, me having to stay in a cubicle and work for somebody else in 2020. It just doesn't make sense. So I have this blessed life that I can travel around the world, make great money, work as much or as little as I want, have all the free time that I want. So I'm teaching people to do step by step exactly what I do. So I put together the course. It's just the blueprint of what I do. It's called Business Finance Blueprint. And I'm just excited for people to have this opportunity to hopefully live this life and kind of travel where they want to travel. If they want to stay at home, great. You can do this from home. It doesn't really matter. And it doesn't require any finance background. Literally, if you can tip your waiter at Cheesecake Factory and you can talk to him, you can do exactly what I'm doing. It's not complex at all. As long as you can sell and talk to people, you're fine.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about that. Because people would be kind of interested specifically as we're in this world where, kind of all the rules changed, which I'm glad some rules changed. Like I've worked remotely for 20 years and never thought that you needed to be in a cube every day, right? So you should be able to do work as long as you have internet and cell, which I haven't had the last couple of days, which has been a real pain. But so talk to me about kind of what the system is and a little bit more about like maybe how you decided that you wanted to turn it into something to teach other people.
Well, the frustrating part when I first started doing this, I was making 300 cold calls a day. It just wasn't sustainable. Yeah. So I figured out leverage points that allowed me to do less and get more out of it. So, now I have a strategy where nowadays I probably make maybe 5 calls a day if I'm lucky. But I use leverage points where like now I go after the people that actually sell the equipment instead of the end user. So that's where I can get, multiple deals from one individual versus me chase every individual deal. I use automation quite a bit. So that's a huge leverage point. I have VAs. I just figure out ways to leverage the business to make it simple, easy, and fun. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to do it if it's not simple, easy, and fun. So life's too short.
Right. And I like your point of the one to many kind of, approach. I work with a company that does merchant processing. And so they were selling to individual merchants, right? So they're going out and finding an individual restaurant, selling them merchant processing. And they changed their business model about a year ago to go after ISOs. So other people who sell, and then also ISVs who sell like software, right? To do merchant processing on the back end. And so those people have like 100 to 150 merchants. And so if they sell to that one person, they end up getting and picking up a bunch of other people on the back end. So I get the leverage. That's something that many entrepreneurs don't really think about, right? Like they think, I got to go sell this one thing to this one individual company versus how can my service be part of a larger package, right?
Exactly. Because that's the whole name of the game, is using leverage to scale. So if I know 10 people and they know 1,000 people, now I know 10,000 people. Versus I got to chase after all 10,000 people by myself. I'm just one guy. It's only so many hours in the day. So you just got to find those leverage points. And I figured those out. I've been doing this for 18 years. And I just figured out what are the main leverage points on, how we can get this to more people and do it without me being in the business every single moment. Let automation, let VAs, let other people handle it. And I just kind of make some of the high level decisions. But most of the time I'm down at the beach down here and just hanging out.
Well, our marketing company, we talk about the fact that, as a marketing firm, we're really an operations company. It's like, how do we do things simple and move things along, and every business at the end of the day is an operational business, right? I mean, it has to operate. No matter what you sell, what you do, you can put whatever that input is into that. And then you have to have the right types of systems and, repeatable, more commodity driven, right? Because the more specialized it is, you don't have the ability to scale as easily. So that's really smart. So, did this epiphany come to you? Talk to me about it. Like, I mean, were you grinding and then you're like, you met one person who helped you leverage things, or like, how did you decide that was really the right way to approach it?
Well, I coming out of school, I got a job doing exactly what I'm doing now. But the business I was working for, a few things. I hated working for anybody else. I hated bosses.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo like that. So I always trying to figure out a way to get out of working underneath somebody, going to these dumb meetings, all this stuff. So, but they were doing it completely opposite. They were going the hard way versus using leverage like we were talking about and making it simpler. And so I got out, started my own business about four and a half years ago. And I was trying to figure out, okay, now that I'm on my own, there's no reason for me to have an office. I had an office. I'm like, I probably don't need the office. Let's figure out how I can leverage this even further. Right. And I went on the trip, took my mom to Europe for about 6 weeks. And so I kind of had this epiphany. I can do this from anywhere in the world, but I got to find a little bit more, some more leverage points to make it simpler so I can automate it. Because the time zone issue is a problem. So, if my clients are calling me at a certain time, I have to kind of figure out how am I going to handle that. So I found these little nuanced approaches to make it simple and easy. And I just implemented them. I'm like, man, I got to share this with other people because this is crazy how well you're paid and then how much free time you can have. And then you're kind of untethered to, whatever society you're in or, state or country or, whatever. Or
yeah.
What's that?
Whatever's going on in the world with,
exactly. You can kind of move around and check out different cultures and see what's going on. And then also, if you want to be in the States, great. You can stay in the States and work from your house and enjoy your kids and whatever's up to you.
Yeah. So is your program for any business that's looking for leverage, or is it specifically around kind of the financial sort of financing space?
So my business is purely equipment financing.
Okay.
So that's all we do is finance small to medium-sized businesses.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about because you have a course that you can take online that talks about this. Is it specifically for people who are interested in the equipment financing space, or is it for any business?
It's equipment financing. So it teaches them exactly what I do.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Nice. Yeah. The thing that's fun about what you're talking about is, if you've got someone who's already established a trusted relationship with a bunch of other customers, it's so much easier for them to walk something in, right? And it may be a need for them. Like you said, I may sell the equipment, but I don't have a way of financing it. So like, what's that back end? Like, how do you become part of a solution? Trying to do each of the sales sort of individually. So nice. So think about that and establishing people, and what are some of maybe the early mistakes you see them make, or kind of early lessons as they start to go through that process that they have to kind of overcome?
It's kind of different from everybody. It just depends, like what your, I guess, level of sales and comfort in the sales role. I always feel like sales it's kind of like a weird thing. It's, to me, I'm not selling anything. I'm just talking to people. So
Right.
I feel if people try too hard, and this is sales and non-sales people. Sometimes in humans, for some reason, we just try too hard. Like we're
Right.
trying to impress or trying to be knowledgeable or trying whatever. Just be yourself. Just talk to people. Tell them what you offer, and then let bygones be bygones. So that's kind of a huge hurdle I see with salespeople in general, just entrepreneurs in general. I think entrepreneurs kind of struggle with the idea of I'm just here to have fun.
Right.
And if you have fun in your business, I swear to you, everything will come your way.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're so tense trying to make it, you lose everything.
Well, and you do have to realize as an entrepreneur that if you take that route, because you and I both are talking about freedom. I'm sitting here in the middle of a park. You're over in Malaysia, whatever, and there's this belief that there's this separation, and entrepreneurism is a lifestyle. It is absolutely a lifestyle. So if you get into it, if you decide you're going to start your own business, do your own thing, you got to figure out how you kind of integrate your life into the work, because it's never this real separation between the two, right? And so if you're not enjoying it, then that means you're spending your entire life not enjoying what you're doing, right? So yeah.
It's like the old saying, like there's no separation between work and play.
Right.
That's like the kind of holy grail where you don't know if you're working or you're playing. You're just doing it and you're enjoying your life.
Yeah.
Because
taking calls when you need to and doing all the things you need to do. And I sometimes tell other people who are not entrepreneurs, I'm like, well, your life is very set. Like you've got your weekend, you're not worried about it. And I could be working on the thing on the weekend, but at the same time, I'm going to go, see falling water in the middle of the week. Right. So that's kind of the way that it works. So nice.
Exactly.
So I don't think we've gotten information like how do people go and find the course. So we talked about DAO Financial, but we didn't talk about where's the course, and we'll also put it in the show notes so they can get to it too.
Yeah, so they can find all my information, all my contact info, content, all my stuff at creatorslearn.com. And my whole idea behind Creators Learn is kind of a platform for people that consider themselves creators to go and learn different ideas, concepts, business opportunities. It's just kind of one of the things I'm putting on there. It's my first core thing because what I do for a living, but I'm kind of want to expand it at some point to other things regarding like mindset and, just this life stuff. So, but yeah, creatorslearn.com, because it's like we have two choices in life. Either we're a victim or we're a creator. So I'm a creator. So if you're a creator and people that are listening are creators, they can go check it out there.
Yeah. Such a good time to do that. People, you either can cower in what's going on, the unemployment rate and kind of how weird the world is, or you can figure out how to quote unquote take advantage of it. Right? Like how do you create something new out of this and put yourself in a stronger position? So it's really smart. Well, good. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me. And when I told you, I thought at first you were in Arizona, so I thought I was waking you up, but you're actually, it's almost time to go to bed. So there you go.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. No, right. I appreciate it, Eric. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so you've been listening to The Jungle. I've been talking with Jermane Cheathem. You can find all the information about how to contact Jermane and learn about his business in our show notes. And until next time, we'll see you then.